Hello?
This is Ben's probation officer. He's been picked up
What has he been picked up for?
for stealing a car, ma'am.
Hello, how you guys doing?
Hey,
Deputy Gooden with the San Gabriel Sheriff's Department. Is there any reason why you didn't pull over when I turned my lights on 2 blocks away?
I guess I didn't see you.
You didn't see it? Okay.
What is this about?
Excuse me, ma'am. I'm talking to him. Talk to you in just a second. Anyway, the reason why I'm pulling you over today is for reckless driving. Okay. Do you have your license and insurance on you?
No.
No? Okay. Do you have a driver's license?
Nope.
No? Okay. Who does this car belong to?
One of my friends.
One of your friends? Did he give you permission to drive it?
Obviously, that's why I'm driving it.
Really? Okay. What's your name?
Ben,
Ben? Okay, Ben. What's your date of birth?
October 21st, 1995.
Okay. I tell you what, go ahead and turn the car off. Hand me the keys, please.
Hi, is this Miss Hill? This is Chris Edwards with San Gabriel Juvenile Probation Department. The reason I'm calling you is I understand that Ben has been living with you.
All right, Ben. I need you to go ahead and step out of the vehicle, please.
Well, I'm sorry to tell you, but Ben is here. He was arrested by the police earlier today for unauthorized use of a motor vehicle.
I am so done with this. I can't do any more.
We do actually need somebody to come to the hearing for Ben. Is there anybody that I can call?
Have a seat, watch your head.
Yes, this is Teresa Greenberg, CPS caseworker. I do remember Ben Harris.
I'm sorry, the reason I'm calling you is Ben was arrested by the police earlier today.
Go ahead and step back. There's the camera right over here. All right, go and face forward for me, please. All right, Ben, we're good. This is Ben Harris.
Could I have somebody do probable cause, please?
Okay.
Just to make sure I understand correctly, you don't want Ben back home.
I'm sorry, but I am done. I don't want him to come back when they release him.
Okay, it's good.
Can you follow me to Probation Officer Edwards' desk? Ben, this is Probation Officer Edwards. She's going to be doing your intake.
Ben, come on and have a seat. I'm Miss Edwards. I'm going to be working with you today on your intake. What that means is I'm going to be getting a lot of information from you. We're going to be putting it in the computer. I'm going to be talking to your parent.
I don't stay with my mom anymore.
Okay.
I'm with my Aunt Carol now.
Okay. Well, I'll be giving a call to your aunt and finding out how you've been doing at home and at school. I'm going to do an assessment on you about drugs and alcohol you may or may not have used. I'm going to ask you some questions about mental health. And then once we get all the information, I'm going to weigh all of it and make a decision about whether or not you need to stay and see a judge or if you can go home today.
I can't go home. You keep saying I'm going home. I can't go home. I'm living with my aunt.
Okay, I understand.
Good morning, everyone. The court is going to call cause number 67432 in the interest of Ben Harris, a child here in the 499th Judicial District Court of San Gabriel County, Texas. These proceedings are being reported this morning pursuant to the Texas Family Code. We do have present with us Mr. Britton, our county attorney representing CPS this morning. Our caseworker, Ms. Greenberg, is present with our supervisor, Ms. Dossett, from the department. Looks like we also have Ms. Howell, our juvenile probation officer from juvenile probation as well. Ben is here with us this morning, represented by his attorney, Ms. Duke. We have Ms. Ott here from our CASA program, and we have a new CASA in this particular case, Leroy Hodge. Is that correct?
Sir.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Would you please raise your right hand and stand to be sworn at this time? You as well, Ben. Do each of you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony that you give before this court today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right. We are here for our first hearing in this particular case. At this particular time. Ben, it's been a few years since I've seen you. I'm happy to see you again. I'm sorry that I'm seeing you under the circumstances that I'm seeing you in. Why don't you tell me what's been going on over the past couple of years since I've seen you?
All I really want is just to be with my mom and my brother Robert.
Okay. We're going to talk about that perhaps in a little bit. Can you tell me what you've been doing in the past couple of years since I've seen you?
Well, obviously I got into some trouble.
Okay. Well, we're going to talk about those things in a little bit, and I know that you've had a chance to speak with Ms. Duke, your attorney, correct? And you've had a chance to meet your new CASA volunteer, Mr. Hodge. Is that right?
Yes, that is right.
Now, my understanding is that, of course, previously we had given custody to the aunt in this case, but that she has wrappered this child in this particular case. And so we're here today to enter a final order, and we're going to determine exactly what's best. Now, I see that we have juvenile probation here as well as the department. So has the department formulated an opinion as to what would be best to proceed with the department or with juvenile probation?
Yes, Your Honor. As the court is aware, the child is currently in juvenile probation and will have some formal charges pending soon. We've met with the juvenile probation department, and we believe that it would be most appropriate to proceed with the CPS case today, and then that would allow the juvenile charges to proceed through court in a future hearing.
Do you have an opinion, Ms. Greenberg, about placement and what would be best for the child at this particular time?
After probation notified us about Ms. Hill asking for the department to take conservatorship of Ben, and we went ahead and put in for a placement request and found an RTC for him. We also put in a level of care, and it came back specialized services. So at this time, that's kind of what our plan is to pursue RTC placement at this time.
And you found a placement, and that's your request at this time?
That is correct, Your Honor, yes.
Ms. Duke, have you had a chance to determine what you feel like would be best for the child with regards to that recommendation?
Your Honor, my client doesn't want to go to an RTC that is hours away from his home. He is not going to be able to see his mom. He's not going to be able to see his aunt. He's not going to be able to see his brother. He's not going to be able to see his friends. It's going to be a delay in his education because he's moving from the public school to a charter school. I've spoken with the department and asked them to look for a foster home or a residential treatment center closer to home. They have informed me that there are no specialized foster homes that can take him, but I would like the department to continue looking because I don't think that this is an appropriate placement at this time.
As far as what we have to do today, are you in agreement with that placement then as of today?
My client reluctantly agrees to it. He shares the concerns that I've listed, but he has also said that his most immediate pressing desire is to leave the detention facility. So he is reluctantly agreeing to it. He would like to be moved from that facility much sooner, and I would like the department to continue looking for appropriate foster homes or even a residential treatment center that's closer to his home.
Thank you, ma'am. So my understanding then is that the attorneys are in agreement with centering a final order today. Mr. Hodge, have you had enough time to determine whether you're in agreement with that or not?
CASA's in agreement with the PMC order. But we haven't worked with Ben enough to determine if he should be in an RTC or in a foster home.
So you're not opposed to to the RTC placement at this time?
I believe it's appropriate at this time.
And so you'll all be doing a further investigation as the case goes along?
Yes.
All right, thank you then. Unless there's anything further with regards to that issue, at this time the court will name the department as the permanent managing conservator of the child. And we'll talk about a few more things here then before we recess. So your plan is to make the placement promptly then?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do we know if there's any physiological issues with regards to the physical health of the child or dental issues that we need to address?
Well, Ben continues to have problems with asthma, and he did go to the doctor and has a refill on all of those. He's not currently on any psychotropic medications.
And he's had his dental exam while he was in probation, in detention, I assume?
He has not had his dental exam. He will receive that whenever he gets to the RTC.
Now, as far as his education, you want to tell us where he is and what our plan is with education then, please?
Well, on the psychological evaluation, he had IQ testing done as procedure. He came back as 105. He is behind educationally based on the numerous moves and current truancy issues. So the school has a kind of a credit recovery program that they can try to work to get him caught up, but he does have he is a little bit behind in his education.
Okay, so that'll be at the RTC charter school. With regards to education, Ms. Duke, I guess he'll be going to the RTC and attending the charter school initially, and you'll have a recommendation whether that's appropriate or not the next time we come to court. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor, I will.
Okay, and as far as special education, he's not special ed identified, correct?
Correct.
And is there any indication that we need to do testing at this particular time, or are we going to wait and see where we are?
I think it would, given his age at 16 and a half, I think it would be helpful to get the special education testing now.
Okay. Are there any other issues with regards to education that we need to address? Any other issues from the department then at this time, Mr. Britton?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Duke, do you have anything else today?
No, Your Honor.
All right. So, Mr. Hodge, we're going to make this placement there at the RTC, and my understanding then is that you'll be able to go out and visit Ben on a regular basis out there. Is that correct?
That's correct, sir.
And you'll have more in-depth recommendations next time we come to court. Is that
Yes, sir. And we look forward to working with them and working with them in our specialized program for kids his age.
All right, thank you. Before we recess, Ben, I just want to visit with you a little bit longer about a few things. You're over 16 years old now, and that means in a few months you're going to be 17 years old. And in Texas, that means you have a lot more responsibilities without many more privileges. When you turn 17 years old, that means you're an adult for criminal purposes. So if you commit a crime when you turn 17, you're not going to be going to juvenile probation or juvenile detention. That means you're going to be going to a regular jail with regular people that are in jail, the drunks and murderers and robbers and all those sorts of things. Do you understand that?
Yes.
So your behavior is going to have to improve, and we can't have any type of this behavior that we've had that got us where we are today. Do you understand that?
Yes.
So you know Miss Duke is your attorney, right? Is that a yes?
Yes.
And you know that Mr. Hodge is your CASA volunteer,
Yes.
correct? And so these two people are your advocates, and I want you to stay in touch with them. You have their phone numbers. They're going to be talking to you, and if there's anything you need, those are the two people that you give those requests to. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, when you're sitting there at the RTC, and I understand you don't want to go to the RTC, but it's really our only choice at this particular time. I want you to think about what's happened in the past, what you've done in the past, what got us to where we are, and I want you to have a plan about how things are going to go from this point forward in the future. Do you understand what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Okay. And I know you talked about your mom, and I know because of the placement, you're not going to be able to visit with her as much, and your brother, and all your other relatives and friends, okay? This is a temporary placement. Do you understand what I'm saying? This isn't for the rest of your life. This is just a temporary placement. And we got to hit rock bottom here today, and then hopefully we're going to make a big bounce and move forward where we're going to be able to have more visitation and more access and a better placement and a closer placement for you. A lot of that's going to depend on the jobs that everyone else in here is doing. But most importantly, it's going to depend on the job that you do between now and the time we come back. So if everyone in here does their job between now and then, and you don't make any progress, nothing's going to change. But if you make a lot of progress along with everyone else, then we have a shot of getting you in a better placement. Do you understand what I'm talking about?
Yes.
So tell me what's going to happen between now and the time we come back to court.
I'm gonna do better in school. Stay out of trouble.
Yes, sir, and no, sir, and yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
From this point forward, I'll work hard in school and make better decisions, correct?
Yes, sir.
Is there anything else we need to talk about today? Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, we're going to be back in court at our 3-month docket 3 months from now. Is there anything else we need to discuss as far as you're concerned?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Duke?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else from CASA at this time?
No, sir.
All right, we'll recess then at this time.
Hey, I'm Mike.
I'm Leroy Hodge, Ben's CASA volunteer.
Okay, I'm the director here at the RTC. I think we talked on the phone last week.
Yes, we did. It's good to put a face with a voice.
Yeah, me too. You know, this stage of the game in an RTC, we don't really work with too many CASA volunteers. So I'd like to kind of know what your expectations would be and vice versa, what we can do to help you.
I'll be visiting periodically to work along with you as we come up with a viable plan for Ben to transition into a foster home.
Have you got a time frame on that yet? Or?
No, a lot of it is contingent upon how well he improves and how fast he progresses with his behavior.
Well, you know, we're just getting to know him. He hadn't been here very long. And You know, right now he's a pretty angry kid and doesn't want to fit in. He's having some difficulty with the staff and peers. But you know, he seems like a really bright young man. He sees the potential. We just need to figure out how we can help him meet that potential and work together to do that. So
that's one thing that I plan on doing, and one thing I would like to be included in on the process of the decisions that you make for being educationally from a behavioral standpoint. And I would just like to be called whenever there are meetings, staffing that you're having, just so I could be kept in the loop on what's going on.
You know, one way you could really help us is we know almost nothing about his family or his background. You know, we got the Common App and an older psychological. We're in the process of doing our own assessment. And also, you know, if he's going to foster care, I guess, is that temporary? Is he going to age out, or is that going to be the permanency plan, or do you know that yet?
I think that'll probably be the permanency plan because he was with a relative and he'll return back to the state.
It would help us a lot if you could share your background stuff on Ben so we could know really where we should go. Now, we believe in family engagement here. That's a little bit different than a lot of RTCs, but we would love to get him in reconnection with his family if that's possible.
Yes, that's one of the things that we'll be pushing for, and that's one thing that we always push for is his connection with his family to make sure that he has a support system when he ages out of the foster care system.
How long have you been Ben's CASA worker?
I was just recently appointed to the case. This is my second time.
Oh, okay. So we're in the same boat.
So
okay.
we're trying to get to know him.
So you know, we would like to encourage him to call you if that's okay with you, or I don't know how you want to do the communication.
Yes, I'll leave my card, and anytime he needs to call, he can call me.
Okay. And you know, we generally like to have the whole team in the loop. You know, both CPS. Anybody in the judiciary that wants to be on the team, his therapist here, you know, a big part of it, he seems to have a lot of difficulty in school. And so if he's going to go back to foster care, we're going to have to deal with those issues. But, you know, we would like to bring everybody together to figure out what his strengths are so we can work together. Well, also, we'd love to identify a foster family before he left so we could make some transitions to the family.
Okay, any information that I have, I'll share it with you. Make sure you have it so we can come up with the best plan for Ben.
We'll have an initial treatment plan meeting coming up pretty quick within the next 30 days. So as soon as we set that, I'll let you know. We'd love for you to come up for the treatment plan meeting.
Okay, I'd love to be here.
Okay, that'd be great. So I guess you want to spend some time with Ben?
Hey Ben, how are you doing?
All right.
Do you remember me from the hearing the other day? Well, I just want to reiterate who I am. I am a CASA volunteer appointed by the judge. I'm not CPS, I'm not a lawyer. I'm here to represent your best interests and kind of just stick with you as you go through this process. I know it's kind of difficult. How are things going here?
Not too good. I don't like it.
Really? I know this isn't a football. Would you like to play catch?
Sure.
Okay. So, what are some of the things that are going on here?
Well, I just want to go live with my mom and see my brother Robert and kind of know what's going on with my sister Rose. But I don't really like it here. I don't have any friends. It's not good.
Okay. How's your behavior?
I don't know. They say it's bad, but it's whatever.
What do you think you're doing to make them say you're bad?
I don't know, Leroy.
Okay. One of the things that you're going to have to do if you do want to see your mom or your aunt, those things, you're going to have to improve your behavior. And could you think about some of the steps that you can take to improve your behavior?
Well, I guess if I can see my mom after, I guess I can try and be better.
Well, that's some of the things that we can work on. As far as me going back to the court and reporting to the court some of the things that you need, we can work on you having visits with your mom.
All right.
So how's school going here?
I mean, the only good part of it is the art class, and everything else is just terrible.
I know you were behind before you came here. Do they have tutors here to help you out?
Yeah. They try and help me out, so it's not, I guess it's all right.
Okay, that's some of the things that we'll work on, getting you the assistance that you need while you're here to make sure that you don't fall behind any farther in, with your education.
Okay.
I know it might seem bad right now and that this place may not be the best place for you because you want to be at your family, but you're going to have to do some of the things they're asking you to do so your behavior can stabilize. And we can look at putting you in a foster home. If you couldn't go back with your family, would you be amenable to going to a foster home?
Yeah, I guess it's better than here.
Ben, I was talking to your RTC director. We're about to wrap up this visit. I left my card, and he's instructed me that you can call me anytime that you need to call me. So if you're frustrated, you need someone to talk to, you can give me a call anytime. And also, I will be visiting you periodically during the month, and if your behavior is good, I can also take you off campus. And so that's an incentive, you know, for you to work towards.
All right, sounds good.